In this video, we'll be talking about multiple return values and multiple return keywords inside of the same function. Welcome back to another lesson in the Python Programming for Beginners series. I hope you've been enjoying this series from the beginning. If you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section and then I'll see it from there. So in this video, we'll be talking about multiple return values and multiple return keywords inside of the same function. There are times that you have more than just a single output that you want to output from a function. Possibly you have a function that performs several operations and you want to return the output of each of those operations from that single function. How do you do that? Okay, for example, in our previous videos, we have functions that perform addition, we have functions that perform multiplication. So let's say we want to group both operations inside of a single function. So let's define another function. We can call the function math operation. Okay, so we can say this is math operation. We have our parentheses and we have our colon. So let's say we'll be performing the math operation on two parameters. We can call the first parameter A, the second parameter to be B. Okay, let's say the first operation we want to perform inside of this math operations function. Let's call it operations because we are actually performing more than one operation. So let's say the first operation we want to perform is the addition operation, and give the addition operation a variable name of sum. So and then that is going to be equal to A plus B. Alright. And then after the sum we can as well perform multiplication. So we can call that product. Okay, so product is A multiplied by B. We can as well add another operation of subtraction or division. Let's add subtraction. So we can call that difference. Okay, so difference is, let's say, A minus B. Now we have three different operations inside of the same function, and we want to give the result of each of the operations as output from the same function. So how do we do that? We give out the outputs using the return keyword. So you have the return keyword indented inside of the function. Then the first output is going to follow the return keyword separated by a comma. Then you have the second output separated by a comma, and then you have the next output. So you separate your output from a function using the comma. Now if we evoke this function, we evoke this using math operations. Okay, so we want to perform these operations on two numbers. Let's say we have 7 and 3. Okay, if we invoke that, we can as well print that to print it as next the function inside of the print statement. You can as well assign the output of the function onto a variable. So if we print this now, what do we have? So you can see we have 10 as the result of the first operation. We have 21 as the result of the second operation, and we have 4 as the result of the third operation. But if you take a closer look, you see that the three output of the function, they are enclosed inside of a bracket. Okay, so how do you get the value of each of the outputs? To get that, you actually need to use variable name. Okay, so let's have that here. What I'm going to do is you first have the name of the first output, whatever name you want to give to the first output. So we can call the first output to be add. The second output we can call it subtract. The third output we can call it multiplication, or let's say multiply. Okay, now we have it to be equal to, and you are going to invoke the function. The function is math operations. You can cut that out and paste it here. I hope you got what I'm saying there. Whenever you have multiple outputs from a single function, to get each of the outputs, unlike here where we have the outputs together in a bracket. So to get each of the outputs, you write the variable names in the same order that you want the output to be. Now we have sum, so we can as well call it sum, but let's call it add so that we have different names to avoid confusion. Now if we print add, what are we going to have? Let's run this. What do we have? We are going to have 10. If we print subtract, what do we have? We are going to have 21. And if we print multiply, what do we have? So we have 4. This is how you separate, this is how you get each of the output from multiple output function. If you want all the outputs together, you can as well give them the name of output, but we are going to put that in parentheses. So this is going to get all the output of the function. Okay, so if we print output now, we're going to have that as the output of the function. So you have 10, 21, and 4. Okay, so that's that about function with multiple return values. We can also have a function with multiple return keyword. Ordinarily, you can only have a single return keyword in a function, but there are times that you want to return different values conditionally. Possibly, if a condition is true, you want to return this output, and if a condition is false, you want to return another output. So how do you do that? You use multiple return keyword in a function using your conditional statement. You can conditionally use multiple return keyword in a single function. For example, we have a function that is checking if a number is positive, if it is negative, or if the number is 0, just in our previous example in our previous video. So we can call the name of the function check number. Okay, let's comment this out. Let's say we have a function that is checking numbers. We have def check number. Okay, and then so we give it a parameter of num, standing for number. Okay, now if num, as the name of our parameter, is greater than 0, then you know that, so we want to return a string that is saying your number is positive. Okay, so if num is less than 0, okay, now we can return a string that is saying your number is negative. So if none of those are true, you can say if num is equal to 0, and you can return your number is 0. Even though this line looks kind of dumb, but this is just an illustration of how you can use multiple return keyword in a single function. Now if you invoke the function now, so we have check number. Okay, let's test it with 5 first and see what we have as our output. Okay, let's print the output of this function. So we can highlight it. You can highlight this and there, put it inside of a print function. Okay, now let's run this again. Okay, so you see your number is positive. If we run this on the negative number, let's use -5. What do we have as our output? We have your number is negative. Now if we use 0, and you are going to see your number is 0. This is how you use multiple return keyword in a single function. You use it conditionally. You cannot have multiple return keyword without using conditional statement. If you don't use conditional statement, as soon as you have the first return keyword, other return keywords will be neglected, because any code after the first return keyword will not be considered during execution. To make this, let's say, more mature, you can use the elif condition. So you have if number is this, elif, if elif number is less than 0, then you can say else. So you don't need to write that condition. This is going to perform the same function as the other time. So we can say check number, we have 0, the number is 0. You can also run that on, let's say, 7, and we have your number is positive. If we run that on -9, but we have the number is negative. Okay, so this is how you use multiple return keyword in a single function. That's that for this video. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next lesson.